I remember when we were strong. Back in the days before King Tenebrae and his royal guard, and the people of Amosran took up their own arms for fun and profit. Before all that, there was just us, the Viridian Outriders. We kept the roads and trails safe and secure, with homes and forts scattered about and locales civilized and not. Time passed, and we have been replaced. And yet, I hear the rumblings and murmurs of the roads being less safe than they had been. Monsters sniffing around in smaller towns and magic acting oddly. Who knows? Maybe we'll be needed again. Hello, and welcome back to Another Path. My name is Chase, and I remain your GM. Today, our heroes put their plan into action and meet their benefactor, Yakov Alltrade. Thank you to our backers, Katie, Carl, and Keith for their support. If you like what you hear, consider donating to us at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia, and maybe try checking out some of the other shows on our network. But with that, sit back, relax, and enjoy your trip down another path.
The longer we leave him waiting, the more suspicious he's gonna get.
Right.
I think to Arabin's point that we got to get out of here scot-free too. We can't let him sick the magicatronics on us. Let's go get Katie first.
Real quick, I'm going to roll a die here.
Why?
You want it to be high. So you're all going back to the admin building, is that right?
Chase, you shitheel. Yeah, we gotta go get our fourth. We gotta get Katie, and I don't want this to be a situation where we're in a dead sprint out of here and we're separated from Katie, from the rookie.
Yes,
smart.
No.
Let's go reconnect with Katie first. Let's not comms her. We don't want to tip off Dieter at all.
Okay. The three of you and Ignis leave the building, unless there's anything else anybody wants to do.
No, this room is dead end.
We put everything back where it was and we locked the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leave it as we found it.
You head out. And the 11 that I rolled means you do not run into any magicatronics. You make your way back to the admin building.
Holy shit. That would have been so bad.
I don't like this place.
And as you reach the admin building, Dieter comes over the comms again. His voice echoes in your head. You can see on the edges of the horizon light is beginning to show. Morning is nearly here. Hey guys, it's getting about that time he shows up. So, I'd really like to know what the plan is right now. 'Cause I'm gonna be honest. I'm losing it here a little bit, and the patience kinda thin. So why don't you tell me what's going on?
The three of us just look at each other, and then Cecil just kind of nods and says, just puts a hand up, I'll do this. But we're gonna keep walking, going and getting Katie and moving as we walk and talk. We're walking and talking because we got to get all the way back out.
Yep.
Absolutely. Dieter, we have a plan.
Okay.
However, the plan doesn't end tonight. So you think there's more answers out there somewhere, right? Beyond the bounds of the corral, yes?
I mean, at this point, there has to be.
Right. We think there might be as well. So we are not calling it quits on this. We are going to go get some sleep because it's been a very long night. And then we are going to go see what answers we can find. And then we will come back tomorrow night and we can fill you in then. We'll see if we can find anything out on Mr. Yakov, and we'll see if we can find a way to get you out of this sticky situation and feeling more like yourself again. Because I think, Dieter, that you know that you had a brilliant mind and you've lost it a bit. And that's not fair and that's not nice. And we would like to see, and for the world to see, the incredible things that you are capable of doing.
Deception. Flat.
I don't think I lied. Okay.
You did, because you are part of this is also talking to his target.
It's totally fine. For reference for everyone at home, because this is the most Cecil thing, deception and persuasion are exactly the same for me.
Nice.
And what is that?
+7.
Okay.
23.
Okay. I will try and sit here for another day. Maybe I'll try and sleep. Who knows? It's not like this music keeps me up constantly. That's a lie. It does. But I'll wait.
Try to get some sleep if you can, Dita. It might help. Just, Dita, I want you to hear this, right? Don't do anything crazy today, right? Just take it easy. I know it's been a long time, so if it's just one more day, that's one more day.
I've been telling myself what's one more day for months. But fine. I'll try and give you this one more day.
Thank you, Dita.
You find something.
I think while this is happening, I was like, Arabin, can you go get Katie? And I'm just to be super safe, I'm gonna stay down here with Ignis and watch the front door.
And I'm like, yeah, okay. I run up, open the security door, and just sort of silently communicate, like, we gotta go.
She nods, gets off, holds up the badge, and just like kind of motions, leaving it there. Just
the badges that we were given.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we would leave all of those.
Okay.
So so we leave all of them, and I pull mine last and say, "Okay, Dita, we have to take these badges off now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be back. I promise."
Okay. Katie takes all the badges, sets them on the desk, and you all walk out.
I am on high fucking alert.
Yeah.
I do not trust this. This is when this step goes wrong. I'm Ignis, like, hey, buddy, watch the fuck out, all right?
Mm-hmm. Perception checks.
Can I roll for Ignis as well?
You may.
Thank you.
14.
Where's his perception? +4.
Hey, Chase.
Yeah?
You know what happens when I roll perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got a nat 1.
Yay.
Some things never change.
Okay. And so Harper?
I got a 14 for Harper,
Mm-hmm.
16 for Ignis.
You're all leaving the park, and you are dead tired. You have been awake for far too long, and like Cecil especially, like you are getting too old for these all-nighter kind of jobs.
You know, I may be slightly old for these shenanigans.
But and as you are leaving, you see not attacking, but watching you leave the remaining Magicatronics. You see Felicia, you see Callaghan, and you see Walter Whale. As you throw a look back over your shoulder towards the barn, they are all standing there, and you can even see one of the Junebug units very close to you all. Arabin, what's got you distracted on your nat 1?
That's tricky. Because we know what happens when I roll a 0.
I do.
I'm not there.
Mm-hmm. It's physically, you're moving, and your body is like fully in the autopilot, but your brain has kind of fallen back. Your thoughts are your own, of course, and you know roughly who and what is riding in the amulet around your neck. But they don't know that you know that as of yet. This is a fact. This is true. This is your secret to hold. By the entity's own words. The Penumbra doesn't know either. But as you are walking, the entity, except for a little bit, who has been pretty quiet tonight, does pipe up.
Arabin, come now. You can take him.
You really think that we should risk our lives?
You're the Outriders. You're supposed to clean up messes. Thought that was the whole thing, keeping people safe, taking care of business. Really just feels like you're passing the buck, doesn't it?
I would sort of think that revenge chaos would be something that you would enjoy. Why would you want us to put a stop to it?
It's not about chaos or anything, although you raise a valid point. That would very much be in line. But the way that I see it, this is somebody who is operating towards a goal. This Yakov clearly seems to be the kind of person who, well, he's put a lot of work into everything and clearly isn't treating his folks right, but at that same token, this is an individual who signed up for a job and was released from that job, and when he signed up, he had to have known that this was the price of leaving Yakov's service, and now he's trying to go back on it. And I may be a lot of things. I do love a good bit of chaos, but if there is one thing that I believe in, one thing that the Master believes in, it's a deal. Dieter made a deal. He's trying to go back on it.
He didn't have a choice.
He had a choice.
Just because someone enters into agreement doesn't mean they deserve to lose everything.
He did not lose everything. He lost a couple of months of memories, and not even full memories, scattered bits and pieces. He is holding on to something that is not his to have by his own signature. I'm not saying that it's right in any way, but it's the deal he agreed to. It's unfortunate that he feels like he lost more than he gained, but he made the deal.
Yeah, well, sometimes deals are meant to be broken.
Sometimes. And sometimes they're meant to be delved into more. He broke his deal with Yakov, and that is how he got into this position. That was the deal he broke. But it was also the deal he made, and that was the price of breaking it. Also, I really do think you could take them. I think it'd be fun.
Put me back.
You never left.
You all cross the threshold of Callaghan Cat's Corral as the sun begins to crest over the horizon line. You're walking down the road back towards the seat. It's a quiet walk. I can't imagine anybody is being terribly chatty at this point.
No.
When over the horizon, you see a singular figure walking. Tall, chiseled, kind of like a very striking silhouette. Dark hair, slicked back. Got kind of like a ruffled shirt thing going on. Got a walking cane. As the figure draws closer, a purple suit matching the drapes in both the office and the apartment. Walking down the road. Noticing you, his head perks up. Ah, hello there. You must be the Outriders, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
Excellent. The name is Alltrade, Yakov Alltrade. A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure, Mr. Alltrade. We have spent the entire night in your fine establishment back there.
Indeed you have. I didn't make that post, and I did see it was taken, so I can only assume that since you are walking away, that you are filled with triumph and have figured out exactly what is going on in my park. Well, now I'm seeing a well here, and I don't know if I like a well, but let's find out, huh?
We can. We're quite hungry and very tired. We can do this now. Do you want to go eat breakfast somewhere? Or we could come back later in the day after we've had a little snooze.
No, please, come with me. I actually usually have breakfast ready to be served around the time I get there. So no, we can get, come on back to the park and we'll talk it out. And you tell me along the way, please. What is happening?
Tried to get out.
Or trying.
They're pulling us back in. Greenlee always wins in the end. Quick, just like at the inevitable, like glancing around to each other. What's the vibe, friends?
I will allow you to telepathically communicate a one-word vibe.
Yikes.
Do the June bugs and the Magicatronics work during the day? Or does Dieter control them at all times or only at night?
You have no idea.
I think I would I have... This is my guess based off of what I've learned about them as Harper, is that night mode is their, like, self-sufficient mode, and then daytime is their more on-rails controlled mode. So I think that with the control stones in Dieter's possession, he can still control them and command them to do whatever he wants them to do.
Right, so the second we go back into the park, Dieter's going to could hear and see and do everything we see, and could make our lives quite miserable, and we would have to fight our way out if things don't go well.
Yep.
So in the interest of saving Yakov's pitiful life, we need to not go back in that park.
Could we convince him to have breakfast at the seat instead? Because it'll be easier to explain what's going on with the park without being there.
This is happening in real time, though, like...
Katie, why don't you run ahead to the seat, please, and tell them to we have an esteemed guest coming for breakfast, and to put out the good silverware.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Just go on. Tell them we're bringing another along with us.
Okay.
Yep. Tell them we're bringing Mr. Yakov with us.
Just over at the Inn Rider, then?
Yes. Yes. Say to Yakov. So, the bad news, Mr. Yakov, is that we did get into a bit of a scrap with one of the Magicatronics, and we'd actually would like to be away from the park for a minute, but we would love to host
for
you.
your safety.
Let's talk it out first.
Not resolved then. Okay.
We think
you look all right. Which one was it? Was it Walter? He is a little. He's got to sing with the water that I know has caused some issues with folk in the past.
No, it was the one that hadn't quite been finished yet. Octavius Albert.
No, that's what's my favorite. Okay.
I have a bit of know-how in the sort of the artificing business as well.
Indeed, I see your little friends here.
Yeah, based on kind of what I saw, just like, not being fully complete yet, something went a little haywire. But hard to say if that's not Harper's gonna do some technobabble.
Okay.
Oh no, she just started talking. Oh no.
Give me a straight Arcana check for technobabble.
Thank you. Yes.
I like that.
Also, is there still a boo blaster strapped to the top of Ignis?
Oh shit, there sure as hell is, gang.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah, you
no.
did in fact steal the boo blasters accidentally.
Fuck. I probably put the rest of them in the shell, but there's
Sure.
definitely one still. I definitely blanked. Harper's is a little scatterbrained. They're all sort of working on a similar platform, as it were. So if there's a problem with one of them, it's hard to say whether there's a problem with all of them. That might be something endemic to the system, the circuitry, the enchantments, the artificing itself. It's really kind of hard to say for the safety of everybody in the park until this problem is resolved, and until we can get an artificer's hands on the situation. I think it's best for everyone's safety if we kind of have some meetings maybe outside the confines of your just darling corral.
We do think we're quite close to an answer. We just would like to get you up to speed first before we think we finish this off. But we are going to finish this off. We are fairly confident at this point.
Okay. All right. I am ready to hear what you have to say. Right then. Sure. Back to the seat, but tell me on the way.
Sure. Yes, we can do that. So we start talking as we go. I think I mean, I can make a check for all this too, but we leave out anything Dieter related, but we can talk about, hey, you know, we figured out how the June bugs work, so we were able to kind of track through the park. We looked through different places in the park. We went through the haunted tower, haunted mansion. What was it called?
Yeah. We can say that's where we had our fight with Octavius.
Yeah, and we could say, and we went through it, and we figured out that the Boo Blasters interfaced with the electronics really well, so we took that.
Yeah, it was sort of a spur of the moment self-defense thing.
Yeah,
apologies.
Yeah, but
I am going to need you to roll a deception check, though.
Okay,
I can fix that.
We could also ask him,
just like friend of the show Dule Hill. I can fix that.
We could ask him about his
Dule,
artificer.
we've got some guest spots coming up here.
What was that? We could ask him about his artificer just to get a read of how he feels about him.
Yeah,
that's.
I'm sure that. So, I can do math really good. 21.
Okay. Excellent.
So we're trying to tell things that are true, and then just leaving out the Dieter of it all to an extent. So eventually we get to a point where we're able to say, so we think that it seems like we're pretty sure there's someone controlling everything and working against you. My understanding from what Harper has been able to ascertain is that it would have taken a fairly knowledgeable person to create all of this and put it all together, much less all work together to the depth that it is. Is that person around? Could we talk to them? Maybe they could give us some insight before we go back in?
No, actually. We lost our artificer a couple of months ago. Frankly, he was doing some snooping around in places he should not have been. Places he was told explicitly not to go, and diving into my personal information. And we did have to let him go after that. Invasion of privacy is something we take very seriously. Of course, you understand if, somebody around you in your employ decided to dig into your own personal life and start looking where they should not be, you would not want to associate with them anymore, I can only assume.
That's very fair. Outriders don't have a lot of secrets amongst the Outriders, but that's you make a valid point, yes.
Now, I do have to ask, what is it you are not telling me? Because he rolled a 25.
Sure.
Oh, shit.
Very quiet all of a sudden. Y'all were so chatty on the way up here. Now look, I want to work with you all. Really, I genuinely do. And I understand that there must be something of a sensitive nature going on at my park that I am unaware of. So, I can do this one of two ways. You can be honest with me, and I will forget this, whatever the oversight and the truth was, or I will find out.
Mr. Alltrade, Dieter reached out.
Oh, how did he manage that?
I could explain it to you, but it's a little above my pay grade, so suffice to say, he pled his case to us.
Uh-huh. And that was?
Well, he pled to us like he got a raw deal, Mr. Alltrade, largely because he can't remember why he was let go, as, by the design of your own enchantments. All this to say, it seems from our perspective like, all due respect to your privacy, the outcome that has resulted is far and away disproportionate to, I think, the offense here.
We don't know what he was looking for or found or stumbled upon or whatever may be the case, and quite frankly, so that's your business. We think that Dieter could prove himself quite useful in other ways. We think that it would be in everyone's best interest, honestly, if we were able to quietly remove him from the seat. Because we don't know what he may or may not do. We don't know what connections he may or may not have here. If he would continue to go to the nth degree to continue to discover whatever your privacy, maybe holding on to whatever secrets he may have. And we think it's in everyone's best interest then if he is not here anymore. We forged enough of a trust with him that he was able to make the Magicatronics stand down, and we walked out of the park, which took some doing. If it would be amenable to you, we believe we can solve your problem and our problem at the same time. Do you know? Quick vibe check. How old's this dude?
You are, now that you're walking kind of in the same direction and you're having this conversation with him, you can tell that would be an impossible question to answer. Because the Fey ancestry here, you can't tell if it's elf or Eladrin. The ears, they are not massive, but they are pointed in such a way that it is clear it's like there is some kind of a heritage there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all that to say, there used to be a tradition amongst the Outriders and the nobility to allow for sashing.
Oh, you have not taken advantage of that particular tradition in quite a while, from what I understand.
No, we haven't. Even myself, I have not seen it happen, and I've been doing this for a while. But it would be a great boon to us and the Outriders to have someone of Dieter's clear and obvious talents and skill set. We could make great use of him, and he could have a new place to be, and he would not be here in the seat and would not be your problem anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So we could do all of these things, and we could take him with us, and your problem is solved. Hopefully without the Magicatronics getting any more beat up, because he has control over them. So it is a bit of a sticky wicket. We're not exactly sure how this would be done, what he would be okay with leaving, what he would not be okay with leaving, what he would want to take with him, if he could not find it in himself to leave without, knowing a reason why he was fired. Maybe even if you made something up. I don't know. Frankly, you know the man better than us.
I knew him. It sounds like he has absolutely lost his mind. The creatives have a tendency to do that, though.
I pat Harper on the shoulder, very hold on.
I'll pull up my fighting apron. I'll beat ass.
You're not wrong. He lacks direction and he lacks purpose. And with someone with access to the abilities and powers that he does, that is dangerous. He can do a lot of good as an outrider. He can have a lot of direction as an outrider. And he still has his skills set. He still remembers. He knows how to do all of that. He can't remember why he got fired. And all of the memories associated with that. And might I say, is the NDE just professional to professional? Sorry. Is the NDE your work? Because it's quite fine. Big fan. Very nicely done. Just
No. I thought I said no going into my office.
We heard about the NDEs, right?
You've heard about them, but he is complimenting the work itself. And you're right. It is very good work. Thank you.
It is very good work.
It is.
Yes.
It is a powerful enchantment. It's a little of myself, a little bit of family history. My ancestry, as you very clearly know from being in the park, I have some Feywild blood running through me, and some things do carry over from my time that I spent there, and of course my family's time there as well. You pick up a few things.
Yeah, absolutely you do. And there were a lot of things about the park that brought up interesting questions that we were would be interested to learn more of, but wouldn't want to delve beyond what you're willing to disclose.
That's, and literally he puts a finger to his nose and points, is a wise decision to make. But fine.
So perhaps we can come to an agreement on Dieter.
I would like everybody to roll me a persuasion check.
Okay, flat roll.
I have done everything I can.
You have.
I rolled okay, fam.
Okay.
Hey, look. We've been playing Five Nights at Greenlee's for a while now. I would really like it to not end poorly. I really don't want to fight a fey demigod in a street.
Wouldn't that be a turn?
I've got a stat block on my lap right now, is all I'm saying.
Bruh. I'll go first. 14.
14.
Flat roll.
Solid.
Mine was a 21.
Mine is also a 21.
Okay. Okay.
It's pretty good overall.
Okay. I can, I suppose, allow for you to sash him. My terms are thus. He takes nothing from the park. The things he designed for the park. He keeps his memories of them. He can rebuild and recreate. He has, presumably, copies of blueprints. He is welcome to those. But what was built for my park will stay in my park. I will find a new artificer somehow. Seeing that your little iron friend here gives me hope that there is somebody out there that might be able to work with the blueprints that I have in my possession as well. And maybe we can get these things up and running. If not, I will have to reach back out. Maybe grandmother can help me find someone. Either way, we will figure it out. He leaves. I will even assist if that would be if that you think that would make things easier.
It may.
May also,
I-
I recognize I could be the spark that lights the powder keg.
That's a solid 50-50.
Yes.
It in fact is going to be a roll on, potentially a dice, and one way or another, we may end up in a scrap.
If he gives you what you want, and you're giving us what we want, are you willing to give him what he wants? He at least deserves to know why.
And I believe he does know to a degree is that he learned something about my personal life that I did not condone for any employee to know. I keep my work life and my personal life fairly well separated, except for the parts that I do put actively on display.
With respect, you've built a literal home in the park.
Oh, you found that too?
You asked us to investigate.
It
Fair
was
enough.
also labeled like it told us where to go. Like it wasn't hidden behind a bookshelf or
It
anything.
was just
But,
behind a door.
Fair
but
enough.
That just doesn't seem very separate.
Most people, the handful of times I have talked to people, I mean, yes, I keep a premises on, first couple of years, I'm going to need to keep an eye on things, make sure stuff goes well until we get some workflows put in place. But regardless, he learned, he went somewhere I specifically told him not to go. He learned something that he was not supposed to learn.
Is that all that we would say is today? So let us go back tonight. A little bit before dusk.
No, we will be taking care of this now.
Oh, you want to do this right now? Okay.
We're going to go ahead and get this taken care of because you see, I cannot abide him in my park.
That's fair.
Where is he?
That's fair enough. Yep. Let's go find him then. He's somewhere in the park. We think he's
Where is he in the park?
Harper, we think we know where he is.
I have an inkling, but it's not.
We have not
It's just
physically seen him, to be clear. He was able to speak to us over those badges you left.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he tapped into those. Of course he did.
Yeah.
He's very good.
He's an artificer.
I always underestimate. Never mind.
Harper's like, yeah, we always get fucking underestimated. You piece of shit.
I didn't know how the technology worked either.
Fine then. Fine then. All right.
Mr. Alltrade, you'd realize there's a solid shot that when you walk on to the premises with us, that he's going to realize something's up and it's a fight. You know that, right?
I give it to 50-50.
All right, then let me ask you this. Harper's big dogging a little bit. What will we get in return should that come out to a fight? Because that's not the job we signed on to do.
Well,
We're gonna go in and fix your problem, but you're asking us to walk headlong into potential danger.
Because if it does come to a fight, I don't think Dieter's going to go with us at that point.
So a little reconciliation would go a long way.
We are solving your problem one way or the other.
Double pay.
how about this? Because we could sit here and discuss the particulars of the agreement of the job, because there is absolutely a way to read that where taking care of Dieter is absolutely on the table as a part of this. You are outriders. You were supposed to rush into danger, but fine. We'll go ahead. The pay, of course. Of course, it would be 1,000 gold across the four of you, so, 250 each, and then plus the donation to the Outrider organization itself, which I would have also pay out of my own pocket. I am also the owner of certain artifacts that I do believe you all might find useful, especially for those who are running headlong into danger. I believe I have a couple of things that you might find interesting. Things over my many years of travels that have come into my possession. I think I actually do have just the thing for you. So,
I look to Cecil and Araben just like in the affirmative, like, sound good?
Sounds good to me. Yes. Good. I pull out my stole and hand it to Harper and say, Harper, if you would. And I reach out to shake Yakov's hand. To shake his hand, and then I have Harper drape it over, to make it a binding agreement.
I think it's a little thing where it's gentle. It's not like this isn't like a marriage ceremony. But I think one at third party comes in, wraps loosely, like drapes one end. It wraps once around each person's wrist, and then just the loose what's left hangs over the side. So it's not tied at all, but it is a symbolic connection.
sure.
I do believe we have a deal.
Excellent.
Now, I assume you strike me as a fairly potent individual yourself, sir, and would be useful in a fight.
If it comes to it,
That is good.
if we can get him in front of me, he will be no issue.
Okay, that's fair enough. I think we have a plan, and we can do this now.
I disguise myself as Callaghan and go, let's go, partner.
Oh, I hate that! Why did you do that?
I drop out of disguise.
Oh no!
Just a little trick I learned.
Oh, you had been so quiet. I was like, is he a mute? What is going on here? Ugh.
We all have,
I lean down to Araben and whisper in his ear, I think at that point that becomes copyright infringement.
I thought he'd like it. I'm sorry.
Nah, it was funny to see him jump.
somebody
Not gonna
like
lie.
imitation is the
my
most sincere
gods.
form of flattery.
Oh,
So I get Katie. I say, Katie,
you've got to the gate of the seat, and she's running back. It's like, all right, tables are set. They're ready for you.
thank you very much, Katie. You've done great work. Mr. Yakov, would you like some bangers and mash, or should we go?
I mean, the poor girl wore herself out for him. No, let's have some breakfast.
All right, we'll go in and we'll have breakfast, and we'll do that, and we'll kind of forge connection and make sure that people know who Yakov is, and Yakov knows who's in charge, and all of these things, and the hands are shook, and everything is done and said. And then at some point, I do want to turn to, as we're finishing the coffee and we're about to head out, I do just turn to him and say, Yakov, Mr. Yakov, of one question that I don't mean to pry, and if it is, just tell me to stop. That gorgeous tree, does it have a name? It seems like a thing that would have a name.
Not a proper one, as such. I grew it from a cutting from the Feywild itself. I should actually amend that statement there. It's not that it doesn't have a name, it's that there is not a good common name for it. There is one in Sylvan. It roughly translates to a joy tree.
A joy tree. There's something to that. Interesting. You've built quite an establishment there, for sure.
I've had many years of work behind it. It is life's ambition kind of thing.
While Cecil and Yakov are talking, I see my opportunity and I run over to Araben and I lay down a total of 4, but 2 espresso shots in front of each of us. And so while they're distracted, quick,
Thank goodness.
Bam.
Excellent. You will no longer be going into this fight with a level of exhaustion.
Woo!
Coffee solves all problems.
Congratulations, you solved my sleepy trap.
Oh, no.
My sleepy puzzle.
I'm old. I'd be sleepy anyway.
Yeah, but you're the regular kind of sleepy. You each knock back an espresso, and unless there's anything else, you make your way back to the corral.
I'm sorry. I need to be perfectly clear because I've built an entire character on being a notary who doesn't drink coffee. That there is no consumption of coffee by Cecil. If I have to have a level of exhaustion to maintain this bit, I absolutely will.
Respect. Honestly, respect.
You have your tea. There is tea there.
Can I roll for tea?
I am going to roll for tea. And I'm going to give it the 50-50.
Whether it's like good caffeine or not.
Yeah, whether it's enough to like a normal like cup of tea, even like maybe you're 3-bagging some Earl Grey. I have rolled a 12. You're fine.
Nice.
I double bag the toast mortem, and I give it a twist.
It is now the toast morning.
Jesus. Post-toast mortem.
You all finish your breakfasts. Tea is had.
Secret espresso is had.
And you
The shame
leave
coffee.
Shame coffee. And you all head back out down the road to finish the job that you started last night. Thank you for joining us here on Another Path. You can find our website and merch store at anotherpathpodcast.com, on Twitter at anotherpathpod, and our network at ghostlightmedia.net. You can support our efforts by donating at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia, or by giving us a rating and review over on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcatcher will let you. You can find me on Twitter at TQLoudly, Griffin at GriffCold, and Ryan at RyanRoll20. You can find Justin on TikTok at JustinMichael, and myself at TQ Loudly. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode, and until then, remember that the enemy of your enemy is usually your friend. Usually. This has been a Ghostlight Media production.